And when a very dear friend of ours passed away, we did this huge memorial service where there was over 1,000 people. He actually did the exhibit there at the Mexican Heritage Foundation over there on King and Story Road. So he has been doing kind of a traveling exhibition. He first did it a couple weeks ago at the Gilroy Library, and then we agreed to host an event here for CARAS. And what I want you to do is to go get some food, look at the pictures, and then we're going to kind of have a round table, express your thoughts about what...
Okay. My name is Irma Ruiz Batres, and if you would stand up right now and look out that back window, you would see my house where I grew up.
I remember.
And right next door to that was Pete Valdez, who was our councilman for 3 times. I think he got elected. I was his campaign manager. And if you would go down the corner and turn right was my dad's store, grocery store, right across from the old post office market. And then Jack W. Ronald was right next door, which was a location of my sister's flower shop at one time. You would turn around the corner and went down, and my sister had a restaurant for 48 years there, Garcia's Restaurant. And then they had Garcia's Restaurant, the card room, a bar, and then 3 buildings that she leased out. So we still have those 6 buildings. And then if you went further south, you came to El Torero Club, which was my brother Joe's bar. He sold it and bought 2 in San Jose. The Balcony Lounge on Julian Street and Joe's Place on Alum Rock. Wow. So most of the people in my family were business people.
Lucia Marquez Gonzalez. I really enjoyed the Excentrico because it brought a lot of social events that were happening and something that you could look forward to as you were growing up. But the only thing that I thought it was lacking was it didn't talk about the plight of the people coming to the crops and all their efforts and suffering or whatever. And some of the ladies were talking that they couldn't find housing, but the farmers always supplied housing for us. But what I always thought was interesting is we never had a telephone, but we would just come over and go to the farm labor office and we would get placement in doing the crops and all that. And we were busy all summer long.
And when did you come to Gilroy?
We were in, in the 40s, and we were about 5 or 6, and we were picking already out in the fields. And we would do the whole day, and Saturday was our day off. We'd come to Gilroy and spend the whole day and window shopping, and maybe go to the movies, and then the next day would be Sunday for services. Church services, and then Monday again.
¿Y de dónde vino su familia?
Nací en Arizona, pero me crié aquí en California.
¿Y sus padres dónde nacieron?
También en Arizona, pero los padres de ellos en México. Estuvimos en Holtville por unos 10 años, del 41 al 51, y nos vinimos aquí. Nos quedamos en Morgan Hill. Y teníamos 10 de familia, nadie quería rentarnos casa. Entonces mis padres tuvieron que comprar un lugar.
¿Y qué compraron?
Una casita y mi papá le puso más cuartos y todo. Pero estaba vendiendo 5 acres el señor, y dijo, tienes que buscar a alguien que compre los otros 2 acres, 2.5 acres para que compres tú. Y convenció un compadre que compre también y compramos las dos familias.
One other thing that I want to say is that you were talking about Catholic priests, and it was a woman named Sofia Mendoza that went to Santa Clara University and fought for Chicanos to get in, because Santa Clara University, which was only 5 miles away from East Side San Jose, did not have any Chicanos kids in the school. And so Rudy Madrid was the first Chicano real Chicano, that went to Santa Clara by himself. He couldn't take it, so he dropped out. But the following year, there was a handful of Chicanos that got accepted, and then the second year, I was one of the Latina Chicanas that got accepted at Santa Clara. And so we protested there at Santa Clara, and there was not many priests there that were very sympathetic to the Chicano movement or Chicanos. I mean, they had to be forced to make sure that we got scholarships, and we had to get arrested, take over buildings, to make sure that the Chicanos at Santa Clara had a presence there. And as a result, there are many more, not enough, but the fall to the Catholic Church to not see that on the east side, which was not far away, they didn't have any Chicanos from there. They were recruiting from Spain and Argentina and South American countries as exchange students, but it was Sofia, Mendoza, and other people that fought to make sure that Chicanos like me and Chicanos like me got accepted to the University of Santa Clara.
What did you study at University of Santa Clara? ¿Qué estudiaste?
They had a minor ethnic studies program, and I wanted to major in ethnic studies, so I had to go into the School of Humanities, and I developed my own curriculum with the approval of the dean. So it was humanities, and I did my big paper on Lolita Lebron, who was a Puerto Rican who fired on the House of Congress to free Puerto Rico, and I got an A in the paper.
¿Y cuáles certificados sacaste de Santa Clara?
I got a Bachelor of Arts in Humanities and minor in Spanish.
¿Y luego?
I took a couple of law classes there and then dropped out.
Yes.
Connie Rogers mentioned at the last meeting that they have started a file called Family Histories at the museum. So if anyone's interested, they should go look at those binders, and maybe they have forms. Maybe they have forms that you can fill out that, will tell your family history. Because I told them at the library, en la biblioteca les dije, pueden poner 100 estudiantes aquí en este cuarto y preguntarles la historia de los chicanos mexicanos que vinieron, fundadores aquí en Gilroy. Ni uno te va a decir nada, ni una historia, porque no saben. So this is very, very important. You have to capture that history, the richness, and the battles that were fought for future generations.
I went to ask for information on Chino Vasquez. They had zero. So they had no history of any Vasquez ever living or going through Gilroy. And I told them, I'm embarrassed for you people. Because if you don't have any other Vasquez, you should have Tiburcio Vasquez. And to my dismay, they said, who was Tiburcio Vasquez? I said, what are you talking about? I said, he was captured in Gilroy. He ran from Monterey to San Jose, and they hung him in San Jose because to you, he was a bandido, but to me, he was no hero. He was a Chicano, Mexicano, Robin Hood. So at the minimum that there should be in these archives right here is something about them. They had nothing about us ever existing here.